Hello and welcome to our viewers here in Nigeria and all around the world. This is Galaxy TV News. Let's get things started. Senate Minority Caucus mourns slain farmers in Borno State. Also tonight, Professor Adebola Kanola emerges acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan. News outside Nigeria, Moderna seeks approval from US and Europe. We have details of these stories and more in just a moment. And wherever you're watching from around the world, we are live from our studios here in Lagos, Nigeria. I am Kelly Egiga. Let's get things started now with our trendy story. As the Senate Minority Caucus on Monday expressed deep sadness over the gruesome killing of rice farmers in Borno State by the Boko Haram insurgents. In a statement by the minority leader, Senator Einaya Abaribe, signed by his media advisor, Uchenna Avom, in Abuja, the caucus said it was saddened that the harvest season has now been turned to a mourning season. The caucus also urged the government to up the stakes in the fight against the frightening insecurity occasioned by the resurging Boko Haram insurgents, banditry, kidnapping all over the country. It added that it is no longer enough for the presidency to always issue statements condemning the attacks and daily killings of Nigerians, saying now is the time to take decisive actions and review its strategy in the face of steaming failure to tackle insecurity in the country. We stay with security as former Chief of Defense Staff, General Martin Luther Agwe, retired, says the rising case of insecurity in the country has overstretched the nation's military, the police, and other security agencies. General Martin, who marked his 72nd birthday over the weekend, also said the military is getting involved in things that were not purely military. General Martin, who served severally as Deputy Force Commander of the United Nations Mission in Sierra Leone, Deputy Military Advisor to the Department of Peacekeeping Operations at the United Nations in headquarters, as well as the Force Commander of the African Union and the United Nations Hybrid Operation in Darfur, spoke in an interview with our correspondent in Nabuchi Oke in Nabuchi in Abuja, the nation's capital. The former CDS noted that the situation at the moment is not the best for the country, calling on the federal government to use the stick and carrot approach to end the current spate of insecurity and insurgency in the country.
It should be a carrot and stick. Yes, but if I have all the information that I may be very firm to say it. But looking at it from a far distance, I don't have access to all what happened. So I will still, from my position of saying, to say what we need is carrot and stick. Carrot and stick. Sometimes I feel sometimes because of the high expectation we have of the military, we want them to have done better. But another thing we have to look at also, the military is getting involved in things that were not purely military.
Now, he said the insecurity of the country has put the military on the spot due to the high expectations of the people from security agencies. And now we stay with security matters as analysts here in Lagos have criticized Garba Shehu, the Senior Special Assistant, Media and Publicity to President Muhammadu Buhari, for saying that the farmers who were killed by Boko Haram did not obtain military clearance before going to the farm. Now, Shehu made the comment on Monday in an interview, said the innocent farm workers, most of them had their throat slit by a heartless band of terrorists. Now, according to him, although much of those areas have been liberated from Boko Haram terrorists, there are a number of spaces that have not been cleared for the return of villagers who have been displaced. In view of this, some analysts, while speaking with Galaxy Solomon FM, described the statement by the president's aide as insensitive.
I am not an expert of the English language, but I think that statement is egregiously bad to the point of defying the English lexicon. At some point in history, people had to make up new words to describe just words that had no you cannot characterize with the English language. So we needed a word to describe this level of irresponsibility, insensitivity, and recklessness on the part of the presidential spokesman. But it's interesting to note that he's speaking for the president, not for himself. So it's reflective of the attitude of the governing towards the governed in Nigeria. Talking about authorization to farm, but the government has repeatedly told us that Boko Haram is technically defeated. And the area these farmers were operating was just 10 kilometers from Maiduguri. So an area that is supposedly safe. So why do you need authorization to operate in an area that the government has declared safe, free of terrorist presence?
I think it's irresponsible of a spokesperson to mention that kind of statements to any interview, even if it's a press release or interview that you granted. You are insulting the people, the deceased, children and families, and by saying that they are responsible for their death, when they have the states that's supposed to protect them. That you are telling people that they didn't get clearance. I don't know that there was no news item that said that people in the north need to take permission before they go around, before they go to farm, especially for rice farming and the rest of it. So it's highly responsible. It shouldn't come from the office of the president, because what Garuba Shehu said is a direct response from the president, because he speaks for the president. He doesn't even speak for the government, he speaks for the president. So that is the mindset of the president, for him to think like that. And now know the reason why they didn't send any representative to Borno for the burial of those 43 Borno farmers.
Now let's get some perspective as we consider the latest killing in Borno State. Awal Musa Rafsanjani, Executive Director of Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, and the head of the Nigerian chapter of Transparency International, joins us live from Abuja, the nation's capital. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with Galaxy TV. Straight up now, the latest killings at the Zabamari seems like another sad testimonial to Nigeria's failure to tackle the worsening insecurity in the country. This, of course, heightens calls for the resignation of the service chiefs. Is that a view you possibly share?
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to reiterate my position on this. Nigerians have been calling and demanding for comprehensive security sector reform in Nigeria to respond to the ongoing security challenge in the country. And under democracy, it is expected that government should listen to the people. It's very clear that Nigerians are sick and tired of explanation that is not bringing solution to the regular and constant killing and threats of life and security in the country, from different kind of from insurgency to banditry to cattle rustling to all sorts of criminalities, including kidnapping. Nigerians are sick and tired of all this, and therefore the call for restructuring the security sector reform in Nigeria is being also repeated, especially when you see this kind of unfortunate development that Nigerians are being slaughtered like rams in their farmland, and yet the statement that is coming from government is rather indicting these poor people who have gone to feed themselves. For several years, these people have been abandoned. Nobody is helping them. They are struggling to find what to eat. They had to go to farm as they don't want to engage in any criminal activities or join even the insurgents. But instead of the government to come with a statement that can calm down the families of those people who have lost their lives, the spokesperson of government as usual, they come to make a statement that is very, very, very provocative and totally unsympathetic with the families of those who have lost their lives. This is really sad, and I think the government officials should learn to have decorum and to have kind of respect for the values and also the feeling and sentiment of Nigerians.
Musa Rafsanjani, would like to thank you so much for agreeing to speak with Galaxy TV, the EDC SLAC, and the head of the Nigerian chapter of Transparency International. Thank you so much. Now, away that, let's take you to Kaduna State, where it appears we have some cheering news as the state government has reported that about 39 kidnapped persons have been rescued, while 69 Russell cows have also been recovered along Kaduna Abuja Zaria Road. In a statement signed by the Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruan, the bandits were neutralized while several others escaped with bullet wounds in the process. Meanwhile, the state government promised to continue to keep citizens informed of the security situation in the state while pleading for more support from residents in the fight against insecurity. You're watching the news on Galaxy TV. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment with more stories. Welcome back to our viewers around the world. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, for more updates and latest news, visit our website at www.galaxytvonline.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GalaxyTV Nigeria. You can follow, interact with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GalaxyTV or tweet at us at GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Official Galaxy TV News. If you have breaking news around you, you can avail our Eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. Simply share your story by sending short videos or clips of the news to 0818 666 669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comment. Now let's cross over live to Ibadan, the Yose capital, where Dr. Saka Balogun, a member of the PDP Reconciliation Committee Southwest, is standing by to speak with us. He's also a historian and member of the PDP Board of Trustees, as we get some perspective on the leadership tussle in the southwest of the party. Thank you so much, Dr. Saka, for speaking with us. Now, for some time now, your party in the southwest has experienced some leadership tussle and crisis. Why is that so?
Well, thank you very much for having me. There's no tussle. There's always been competition for power in any organization. So what you have is normal. You want to compete for relevance, and you feel it has to be done one way, and somebody else feels it has to be done a different way. So that's not it also. It's fair competition for power and relevance.
Dr. Balogun, no doubt your committee will be confronted with a lot of challenges. What are your expectations?
Well, we have some differences here and there, because and this is normal with any political organization. When there's going to be some kind of transition from one tenure to the other, people are gearing up for nomination, for relevance, for recognition, and so on. So we don't expect anything other than talking to our people and making them feel that there's need for amity, for concord, for understanding, especially against the background of the APC that is just managing to hold together. They are talking about defection here and there from PDP to APC, but let's wait and see if APC will survive the next general elections.
Well,
so
Dr.
we don't expect any serious problem.
Dr. Balogun, just yes, one final question, maybe in 30 seconds. How confident are you that the warring factions in the region will be united? And then to add to that, since you have mentioned the issue of defection, are you sure that your party is not weakened by the latest defection from the Adamawa North Senator, Senator Elisha Abo, and the likes of David Umahi of the Ebonyi State Governor?
Well, we expect that we'll be able to weather the storm. And in fact, it is really a storm of some minor disagreement here and there. But with reference to the infection of Umahi and Ado, Umahi from Ebonyi and Ado from Adamawa, they all specify why they are defective. Umahi to enhance the chances of Southeast to have to have nomination for the presidency. Is it sure that APC will zone the presidential ticket to Southeast? Has he forgotten all the efforts that Asiwaju Tinubu has been making over the years to get that advantage?
Dr. Balogun, we'll see how things unfold in the coming months. Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with Galaxy TV.
Thank you very much. We are not disturbed at all.
We're speaking with Dr. Saka Balogun, historian and PDP Reconciliation Committee member. Now, let's stay in Ibadan for a moment, as the Senate of the University of Ibadan has elected the current Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, Professor Adebola Akinola, and recommended him to the Governing Council as the acting VC of the Premier University. In the process, presided by the Provost College of Medicine, Professor Olayinka, at the International Conference Center of the University, Professor Adebola defeated 4 other contestants to emerge winner. The Governing Council is expected to ratify the emergence of Professor Adebola later in the coming days. He will act for the next 6 months and midwife the process of selecting a substantive VC. This is following the directives from the National Universities Commission, NUC, asking the Senate of the University to select one of its members as the acting VC. Now, the directive is expended following the expiration of the tenure of the Professor Idowu Olayinka as VC. And then we stay with education again for a moment, as Professor Idowu Olayinka, the 12th Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, bowed out of office on Monday. Some aggrieved members of the Senior Staff Association of Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities of the institution made a symbolic farewell protest to the VC. Now, brandishing brooms to symbolize the cleansing of the university. After Olayinka's exit, the members of the unions marched to the office of the VC, singing protest songs against the reign of the outgoing VC. A correspondent in that state, Kunojo, reports that members of the two unions swept the floor from the VC's office to the main gate of the university to press home their points. Now, the union leaders and members moved around the institution celebrating the exit of the VC. Addressing members of the union during the Congress, the chairman, SANU, Comrade Wale Akinremi, said the institution suffered untold hardships under the watch of Professor Olayinka as VC, adding that never again would any VC put staff and students through such a journey. The chairman of NASU, Mayeka Etim, who also lamented the experience under the immediate past VC, said it's shameful for a VC to leave office without having a successor to hand over to.
What we have suffered in this university under Professor Olayinka, our prayers is to the Almighty God not to give any human being such power to put members of staff and students of this university through such tormentous journey ever again. Yeah. In the 5 years, Professor Olayinka came in 2015. Federal government is not owing us. Federal government is not owing us promotion areas in 2014. How come it is 2015 that he came on board that they have been owing us promotion areas? For the whole world to hear this, you can write whatever, bootlickers, political contractors, academic politicians, you can write whatever, but the fact remains that his regime was an abysmal failure.
Yes. They should not finish the process of electing the Vice Chancellor. Yes, we don't deny that. Except you follow the process as it is laid down in the act of the university, you will have nobody to hand over to.
Now, they lamented that for 5 years, both academic and non-academic members of staff could not get promotion arrears, while the institution has lost about 2.5 years of academic calendar to the regime. You're watching the news on Galaxy TV. Let's switch gears now and join our international desk for more stories.
Welcome to the international scene. Moderna is filing for US and European emergency regulatory approval of its coronavirus vaccine so that it can be recommended for widespread use. Regulators will look at trial data for the mRNA vaccine and decide if it is safe and effective enough to recommend for rollout. Clinical studies show the jab is more than 94% effective at protecting people from becoming ill with COVID-19. Pfizer, which has a similar jab, has already filed for the same US approval. UK regulators are also reviewing data on the Pfizer vaccine as well as another type of COVID-19 vaccine from AstraZeneca and Oxford University for emergency approval. Moderna says it hopes to gain UK approval soon now that it has trial data from 30,000 volunteers, including high-risk groups like the elderly, that suggest it works. In those studies, 15,000 people received the real vaccine while the other participants got placebo injections. No serious side effects were reported. During the studies, 185 people in the placebo group fell ill with COVID-19, and some severely so. In comparison, there were 11 cases in the vaccine group and none were severe. Full trial data has not been released but will be published in a peer-reviewed journal in due course.
And now for more updates and latest news, visit our website at www.galaxytvonline.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GalaxyTV Nigeria. You can follow, interact with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GalaxyTV or tweet at us at GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at GalaxyTV News. If you have breaking news around you, you can avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. Simply share your story by sending short videos or clips to 0818 666 669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. And that's your Galaxy TV News at this time. On behalf of the production team and everyone here, thank you so much for your company. We urge you to please keep safe. I am Kelly Egiga, but our newsroom will be back at 9 p.m. with our primetime news. Good evening.